I saw your comment, Eva, thank you. It got held for review because you'd put a link in. I have watched some of Belle, does she call herself Belle? Um, because they get posted in the Mimos group, so I have watched some of them. And she repeats, not repeats, I mean, obviously everybody's making their own vlogs, but it's a lot of what she said I've already seen in other places. As you know, that when I do these, they're not scripted and they're not. Um, I sometimes come and turn this on when my thoughts are not fully processed, and um, this has been going over in my head, and still haven't quite extracted it all. But I was thinking about the Madison Square Gardens. Um, I'm going to call it a hate fest. He called it a love fest. Been thinking about that and thinking about how the the Trump campaign and Trump and possibly Elon Musk and those that are at the top of that, at that level of decision making and planning and whatever, have become so arrogant that they believe that they can get away with anything. They believe they can say anything. They believe so much that they're going to win that they think that they can say anything. And it's just so arrogant. How they thought that they could trash Latinos, trash Puerto Rico, trash another part of society, and I can't remember who, how they thought that that was okay. It's like it's like they have said, you know, when people joke and sort of say, "Oh, did I say that out loud?" You know, it's a bit of a joke, but that's what they've done. They've spoken out loud, and we've all seen them. It's sort of like a denouement that we've seen them. It's a little bit like the Emperor's New Clothes. We've seen them. We'd already seen them. I'd already seen them, but I'm hoping a lot of other people now have seen them for what they are. For me, it's just arrogance. And Musk is so emotionally stunted. He's like, he reminded me, and again, I couldn't put my finger, I couldn't verbalize it. Um, Lots of sort of, you know, triggers being pushed, but I couldn't verbalize it, and probably still not verbalizing it correctly. But he's like a little boy at school who's got all the marbles, or who's got more money, he's got all the pocket money, he's got more than everybody else and feels powerful. He's just like a little boy at school. And I mean little as in 5, 6, 7. And I think that what makes it so, on the one hand, it's laughable because he stands up there in his socially inept, awkward place on stage and cannot and does not fit in and wants to fit in and tries to fit in and thinks he fits in. Consciously, he thinks he fits in. Unconsciously, he knows he doesn't. So that's laughable. But on the other side, it's terrifying. Imagine a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old with the sort of power that he might have if Trump were to become president. That's been going around in my head, and I still may not have verbalized it correctly, described it correctly, but it's the whole arrogance of it all and the whole weirdness of Musk. That's the only way I can describe it. That he comes across as weird because he isn't. He's this body, this adult body, but inside it is a child. And I know we say Trump's the same. Trump is different somehow. He's not quite as awkward socially. He's not quite. He's stupid. He's inept, but he's not quite as awkward as Musk is. And the two of them together, dog help us. I was reminded again, and I'm going to say it again, and I know I've posted about it, about what will happen on election night. Now I have to wait till Wednesday morning here, because the polls don't close until 1 a.m. Paris time on the very early hours of Wednesday morning. So I won't know anything till Wednesday. And Dr. Arlene and Robert Reich have both spoken about what will happen on election night, and how, because of the way the votes are counted, because of the way they come in, because down the East Coast closes first, and down the East Coast, a lot of the rural votes will be counted first. They call them low propensity. I think that's what they call them. But a lot of the rural votes will come in first. And what will happen is you'll begin to see a scary picture, quite potentially, a scary picture of a red wave. Excuse me. Robert Reich calls it a red mirage. And that's what Donald Trump saw in 2020. He watched the first lot of votes coming in and saw everywhere turning red and went to bed, apparently. What happens next is the next votes, and the votes, as they gradually get counted and counted and counted, you begin to get a more balanced picture. You get more of a picture of what is really going on. And that's when we all hope we'll begin to see the blue wave. So when he wakes up in the morning and when I wake up in the morning, it's going to be a different picture. Well, not for me, perhaps, because I will see the first bit when I get up in the morning. But that's what he didn't understand last time. He didn't understand that this isn't how it is, that there are still votes coming in, there's still counting going on, there's still postal votes to be counted, and all of that. Stop the count, stop the count. Somehow he thought, okay, let's stop counting now. Don't count there now because I've won. Let's stop. It's like, fuck. And that's what happened last time. So be prepared on election night, those of you that are going to sit up and watch it, because I know a lot of you won't sleep. I should really sleep, but I probably won't. Not that it won't help me, because I'll still have to, even if I don't sleep, I'm not really going to see anything between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. really, but I can't imagine sleeping. But for those of you that are not sleeping and that are staying awake, just prepare yourselves for what begins to look, or what is a red, Robert Reich calls a red mirage, and wait for the blue, because the blue's going to come. I've seen enough stuff now to assure me that the victory for Kamala is going to be a landslide, and it needs to be a landslide. It needs to be a landslide. He needs to see, actually, it's not even close. He needs to see that, and God knows what's going to happen. We have a good idea about what might happen if he wins. We have a very good idea. I hate to think what will happen when he loses. That's terrifying too. I saw more. I saw footage. The Marsh family did a Bohemian Rhapsody song. Well, they did Bohemian Rhapsody, but changed the words, and they added in footage from January 6th. And it was horrible to watch it again. We watched it as it happened, and it was horrible to watch it again. And to think that he didn't stop what was going on, didn't call them off, is just disgusting. I really do hope he gets his just desserts. So I've tried to speak calmly, not rant, not swear, not shout. You know how I feel. I know a lot of you feel like this, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, can we go back to chickens? Can we go back to road trips? Can we go back to How is Mark? But this is really important. It's all very important, but this is really important. And I feel like I can't do anything. I can't vote. but I want my American friends to know that I'm thinking of them and that I would, if I could, I'd be voting. Um, and somebody commented about how he and his wife, who are pro-life, abortion's murder, la la la, are going to vote for Trump. And I really, I can't begin to make to respond, because it's like, I can't begin to respond. I can't understand that type of thinking. I really can't. I think, what I know is that all these poor women who are unable to terminate a pregnancy created by that's come from rape, from incest, um, have to carry that baby to term. And then if they don't have the means to take care of it, what happens to that baby? Because I don't think there's a great care system for unwanted or newborns. I don't think there's a care system for that. But anyway, make them go ahead and have it. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's my vlog. I'm not going to say anything about what's going on here. I'll just leave it at that. And next time I'm here, I might talk about what's going on here. Bye.